One of the things we like to do on a regular basis here is to talk an awful lot about hospitality, which is one of the businesses, of course, which is unable to operate right now in this lockdown, and has had a pretty turbulent year all round, with one lockdown or another, tiers 2, tiers 3, tiers 4, and worse. We're going to talk now to Kate Hayden, who runs the Snow Goose in Farnborough and the Extraordinary Hare in Oxfordshire, because Heineken have done a study commissioned through Loughborough University, and it's called the Campaign to End Loneliness. Because let's face it, pubs are not just places to go and have a good time. They're also places to go to meet people. They're also places to go to have business meetings. They're also places to go to have dinner. The whole family can go. And I've been very much at the forefront of trying to make it clear to government that there's absolutely no reason why, if a pub and a restaurant is open in a COVID-safe way, why that should still have to be shut down because of a lockdown. Let's talk to Kate now and find out what she wants to say about it. Kate, very good morning to you.
Hello, Mike.
Thanks very much indeed for joining us. Tell us a bit about the Snow Goose and the Extraordinary Hare. They both sound rather lovely.
They are. I'm incredibly blessed with both sites. I actually am based and live at the one in Farnborough, and I'm lucky to have the community around me that I do. And at the Extraordinary Hare, I have a manager who's moved from here to there, and the business has just gone from strength to strength, having been shut for 5 years, and it underwent a huge refurbishment, and we literally shut it a year to the date that we opened it, and we were just devastated.
Yeah,
and devastated for the community that surrounds it, because long gone are the days where pubs are just places that you stagger out of, although that does occasionally still happen.
I'm trying to remember.
We have so many versatile people that come through our doors, and there's a huge grey market. We don't just serve beer. There's coffee, there's lunch, and we miss them as much as they miss us.
Yeah, and an awful lot of communities, and yours may be one, they're very much a focal point for people, aren't they? Where, I've lived in villages in all sorts of parts of Britain, where the pub is really the kind of the central point of the village, and that's where you go to meet people. It's where you find stuff out. It's where you find out about, some new housing development that's going to be built down the road. It's where the news happens, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And around us, so many community centres are closing. I like to think we're the head office and the social hub for everybody within the community. And even for one demographic alone, single people trying to meet someone is just an absolute nightmare. And those natural social interactions that would normally take place aren't able to happen. And we're so eyes down on our phones and everything else to watch and engage in that social interaction it's just the best thing. And I've been doing this 33 years, and it used to be a nightmare to get people to cover shifts, but people want to come to work now. They want to work in the pub. It's a completely different environment, open to absolutely everybody.
Yeah. Well, this is the thing as well, that, when people talk about the hospitality business, and I often get accused of by people who go, you just want to go to the pub. Well, it's not just that. Of course, yes, I do, but it's about the business itself, a multi-billion pound business in this country, employing loads of people, paying loads of tax, paying loads of rent. I mean, I don't know why more pubs haven't actually shut down permanently, because it's been so tough for them.
Well, no, I just saw something very locally about, in Aldershot, where our neighbouring town is Aldershot, and there used to be 80 plus pubs in Aldershot, and they're now down to 14.
Really?
And this is a really frightening time that it would be closing, and we're doing everything we can to hold on. We just at the moment don't have any clear direction, and I want to put out there that fundamentally we absolutely think pubs should be closed at the moment, but we need some guidelines on when we're going to be open. And whether we're closed or open, we'll always be a community pub. And I'm really fortunate to be working with a brewery like Heineken, who have taken up with things that are coming out and wanting to work in the community, and with this report that's coming out as well for loneliness.
Yeah, because I was saying earlier on, just in this hour, that there are people now, because they are sort of isolated in their homes and working from home and not necessarily going out much at all, some people don't even talk to anybody else in a whole 24-hour period.
Yeah. This is absolutely the big problem. And, when I'm going out walking in the day, it's obviously always socially distanced, but we take the time to stop and speak to people. We've just opened up a phone line here if people just want to chat. And we appreciate there's lots of Samaritans and other groups out there, but people miss that banter and the camaraderie that would be in a pub. And that's the only place you'll get that. We are the place of the original proper sorts out there that come in and pass on that banter and those social skills, and people are missing out on that, and it's a really tough time. And whilst we're being offered grants to support us, we're being offered 3% of the 60% we've lost. and it's a worrying time, and we just need sort of a definitive time frame, really.
Yeah, exactly. And I
in
mean,
open.
some pubs were able to kind of pivot slightly and do takeaway food for a while, do takeaway drinks for a while. Certainly in London that was happening. Were you able to do any of that, or have you been closed for a large portion of time?
That is something we're definitely looking at going forward now. We're looking at a longer time frame of being closed. But what we've done since all the closures, and that's the biggest problem here, is the constant opening and closing. That's where it's financially crippling a lot of pubs. You know, I've just written off £2,500 worth of stock with this closure, and it's really difficult. But yeah, it's just the toughest of times, and we just need an answer of when we can get back and get open and doing what we do best.
Yes. What sort of menus do you do there? I mean, is that going to change when you do get to reopen? Do you have to do more sort of simple type food, or can you expand it into kind of, you know, all sorts of different things, like, I don't know.
Yeah,
I made a very good goulash last night, which was really good, and the jambalaya is going to be my next one.
We have a really versatile menu. It's a British menu. It's all freshly prepared. We only use source locally and only buy local. We will look at that. We do a great value fresh food menu anyway. So we've looked at takeaway. We've looked at doing something like that. Like I've said, that's what we'll do. But we've been keeping ourselves busy. We have a local baker that she's a commercial baker, and obviously she literally lost her golf clubs, her cafes, everything overnight. So that's one of the things we've done, is open up a cost price pop-up shop where we've basically sold her goods, kept her in a business, which I'm really proud of.
Yeah.
Power of Flour, amazing. And it's really helped the local community, and they've made a point of popping in. We sell out every day that we do it. We've done a self-employed food bank, which is something we never thought we'd have to do, but people found themselves struck by all of this immediately, and we felt we could help there. And it's just reaching out to people and doing all that we can.
Good stuff. Well, Kate, best of luck with it. Hopefully we'll have news soon as to when you can reopen, and I'll try and pay you a visit as soon as I can get somewhere further than about 5 miles down the road. The Snow Goose in Farnbury, the Extraordinary Hare in Oxfordshire. You may know them both. Kate Hayden there, talking on behalf of Loughborough University and Heineken, who have done this study into loneliness. And of course, I would suggest to anyone from the government listening to this right now, today, you know, please find some way forward, find some way to reopen the hospitality business, because it is dying on its feet, and it really could do with some injection of money. That's what I'm going to say.